Have you ever experienced a moment where everything just clicked? Time seemed to slow down, your actions felt effortless, and your focus was razor sharp. It's like you were in the zone, performing at your absolute best without even thinking about it. That's not luck, and it's not some mystical force. It's called flow state. The greatest athletes, musicians, artists, and entrepreneurs all know about this state, and they use it to achieve extraordinary results. But here's the best part. You can access it too. Imagine if you could tap into your peak performance mode whenever you wanted, whether you're working, studying, playing sports, or creating something incredible. What if I told you there's a science-backed way to trigger flow on command? Stay with me until the end of this video, because today I'm going to teach you exactly how to enter flow state, stay in it longer, and use it to change your life. Flow state, also called being in the zone, is a mental state where you are completely immersed in an activity. Your mind quiets down, distractions fade away, and everything feels effortless, yet extremely effective. It's as if your body and mind are perfectly synchronized. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, who coined the term, describes flow as a state of optimal experience, where people feel their best and perform their best. His groundbreaking research began in the 1970s when he observed artists who would become so absorbed in their work that they would forget to eat, drink, or even sleep. What fascinated him was that these artists weren't motivated by external rewards. They were driven by the experience itself. You've seen it before. Athletes making impossible plays look easy, like Michael Jordan describing how the hoop seemed as big as an ocean during his best performances. Musicians lost in their performance, playing like they're connected to something higher, forgetting they're even on stage. Writers and artists creating masterpieces in a trance-like focus, often reporting that the work seemed to create itself. Surgeons performing complex procedures with total concentration, where hours pass like minutes. Programmers coding for hours in a state of complete absorption, solving problems with intuitive ease. But what does flow actually feel like? The sensations of flow include total absorption. You lose yourself in the task, becoming one with the activity. Distorted time perception. Hours feel like minutes, or sometimes seconds stretch infinitely. Effortless action. You're not forcing anything. It just happens naturally and smoothly. Inner clarity. Every move you make feels right. Decisions become intuitive rather than calculated. A euphoric feeling. A deep sense of fulfillment takes over, creating what researchers call an autotelic experience, something rewarding in itself. Heightened perception. Details become vivid, and your awareness of relevant information increases dramatically. And an absence of inner critic. The voice of self-doubt disappears completely during true flow. This isn't magic. It's a trainable skill that anyone can develop. And once you learn how to activate flow on demand, you'll unlock a level of focus, creativity, and productivity that most people never experience. From a neurobiological perspective, flow creates a unique cocktail of performance-enhancing neurochemicals. Your brain releases dopamine for motivation, norepinephrine for focus, endorphins for pleasure, anandamide for pattern recognition, and serotonin for well-being. This neurochemical state has been called super fuel for performance by flow researchers. To enter flow state, you need 4 crucial ingredients. Miss any of them, and flow won't happen. Master them, and you can enter flow almost at will. The first key element is the challenge-skill balance. If something is too easy, you get bored. If it's too hard, you get frustrated. Flow happens when the challenge is just right, pushing your abilities without overwhelming you. If the task is too easy, increase difficulty slightly. Add constraints, set time limits, or raise your standards. If it's too hard, break it into smaller steps. Acquire necessary skills gradually, or find a mentor. The sweet spot is to aim for challenges about 4% beyond your current skill level, enough to stretch you without breaking you. This balance keeps your brain engaged and fully immersed. In sports psychology, this is known as the growth zone, where peak performance and rapid skill development naturally occur. When challenge and skill align, your brain releases dopamine, reinforcing motivation and deep focus. This is why elite performers seek progressively harder challenges, It's their way of triggering flow more often. Research by McKinsey and Company found that executives in flow are up to 500% more productive. Imagine what that could mean for your own performance in work or any passionate pursuit. The second key element is deep focus and elimination of distractions. Your brain cannot enter flow if you're constantly interrupted. Social media, notifications, or even internal thoughts can pull you out. Turn off notifications. Your phone is flow's biggest enemy. Studies show it takes 23 minutes to fully refocus after a disruption. Use time blocks, set a timer, and commit to focused work. The Pomodoro technique can be a stepping stone to longer flow states. Find a quiet environment. Control your surroundings. Some people work best with background noise, like coffee shop ambient sounds, while others need complete silence. Clear mental space. Before starting, do a brain dump of worries and to-dos so they don't interrupt your focus. Manage energy, not just time. Schedule flow activities when your energy naturally peaks. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for self-criticism and overthinking, begins to deactivate during flow. This is why deep focus is essential. It allows the brain to shift into a fluid, automatic state where performance skyrockets. Neuroscientists call this transient hypofrontality, a temporary downregulation of the analytical, self-conscious part of your brain. The third key element is immediate feedback. Your brain needs real-time feedback to stay in flow. This is why athletes, musicians, and video gamers enter flow more easily. Their actions have instant consequences. Set clear progress markers. Know when you're improving. Track metrics that matter to your performance. Use checklists or goals. Your brain loves hitting milestones. Checking items off creates dopamine releases that fuel continued focus. Create tight feedback loops. Shorten the time between action and feedback. For writers, this might mean reading work aloud to hear rhythm. For programmers, using test-driven development. Use technology wisely. Apps that track productivity, fitness devices for athletes, or tuners for musicians can all provide instant feedback. When feedback is immediate, your brain adjusts and refines performance in real time. This keeps engagement high and the flow loop strong. For example, a basketball player knows instantly if their shot is off and makes micro adjustments for the next one. This rapid feedback process fuels deep immersion. Feedback doesn't always have to come from external sources. With practice, you can develop what experts call embodied cognition, an intuitive sense of when you're performing optimally. The fourth key element is loss of self-consciousness. In flow, you're not worried about how you look or what people think. You become the task itself. This is why meditation, intense sports, and deep creative work pull people into flow so easily. Forget perfection. Focus on the process. Perfectionism is the enemy of flow. Let go of self-judgment. Practice observing thoughts without attachment. Create psychological safety. Choose environments where you feel comfortable taking risks. Practice mindfulness. Regular meditation builds the mental muscles needed to enter flow. Use visualization. Elite athletes visualize perfect performance. Without self-consciousness, your inner critic disappears because your sense of self dissolves, making room for effortless action. This is a hallmark of flow. The experience becomes so absorbing that you forget yourself entirely, leading to breakthroughs in performance. Research shows that in flow, the brain's default mode network, responsible for self-reflection, becomes less active, while task-positive networks light up. This neural shift is what creates that sensation of losing yourself in the moment. Now, let's talk about how to train your brain to access flow faster. Prime your mind with a ritual. Ever notice how athletes have pre-game rituals? That's because the brain loves cues. Listen to a specific song or playlist. Music can trigger emotional states conducive to flow. Do a breathing exercise. Try box breathing. 4 counts in, 4 counts hold, 4 counts out, 4 counts hold. Use a mantra or intention setting. A simple phrase like "deep focus now" can signal your brain. Create a physical trigger. Some people use specific clothing, environments, or even scents to anchor the flow state. Establish a consistent pre-flow routine. more consistent your ritual, the more powerful the conditioning becomes. This signals to your brain, it's flow time. Over time, these cues become stronger through neurological association. Japanese martial artists call this state-triggering practice mokuso, a moment of mental preparation before intense activity. Next, eliminate distractions before starting. Put your phone on airplane mode or in another room. The mere presence of your phone reduces cognitive capacity. Close unnecessary tabs and applications. Digital minimalism enhances cognitive resources. Set up your environment for deep work. A dedicated flow space trains your brain through environmental cues. Communicate boundaries to others. Let people know you're unavailable during your flow sessions. Prepare all necessary materials beforehand. Gathering. Tools mid-session breaks flow. Flow requires undivided attention. Studies from UC Irvine show that it takes an average of 23 minutes to refocus after an interruption. Protect your attention as your most valuable resource. Use the 90-minute rule. Research shows that our brains work best in 90-minute focus cycles, aligning with our natural ultradian rhythms. Work deeply for 90 minutes. This is long enough to get into profound flow, but not so long that mental resources deplete. Take a 15-minute break. True rest between sessions recharges cognitive capacity. Repeat the cycle 2 to 3 times per day. Most people can sustain 2 to 3 high-quality flow sessions daily. Track your energy, not just time. Note when your flow states are most powerful during the day. Honor the recovery period. Flow is intellectually demanding. Respect the recovery phase. This keeps you in a peak performance rhythm. Elite violinists studied by Anders Ericsson practice this way, working intensely for no more than 90 minutes followed by breaks, never exceeding 4.5 hours of deep practice daily. Set clear, challenging goals. Ambiguous tasks don't trigger flow. Make your goals specific, challenging, and achievable. Write a blog post is too vague. Write 1,000 words in the next 90 minutes about flow state techniques is perfect. Break complex projects into concrete next actions. What's the exact next step? Define success criteria in advance. How will you know when you've done enough? Set both process and outcome goals. Focus on what you can control directly. Clear goals. Create what neuroscientists call attention density, the concentration of neural resources on a specific target. This focused attention is a prerequisite for flow. Control your internal dialogue. Your inner voice can either facilitate or prevent flow state. Replace limiting beliefs with enabling questions. Instead of, "I can't do this," ask, "How can I approach this differently?" Practice thought-stopping techniques. Develop a mental stop sign for counterproductive thoughts. Cultivate present moment awareness. Flow happens only in the now, not in past regrets or future anxieties. Develop a growth mindset. See challenges as opportunities rather than threats. Use positive self-talk strategically. Short, powerful phrases can redirect attention and boost confidence. Your internal narrator can be trained to support rather than sabotage your performance. Olympic athletes work with sports psychologists specifically to master this skill. Leverage your peak energy times. We all have natural cycles of energy and focus throughout the day. Identify your chronotype. Are you a morning lark, night owl, or somewhere in between? Schedule flow sessions during your peak alertness. Don't fight your biology. Track your productivity patterns for 2 weeks. When do you naturally focus best? Protect your prime time ruthlessly. Schedule meetings and administrative tasks during lower energy periods. Optimize nutrition and sleep to support your energy cycles. Flow requires physiological support. Understanding your unique biological rhythms can dramatically increase your ability to access flow consistently. Train foundational skills to automation. Flow happens when basic skills become automatic, freeing attention for higher-level performance. Practice fundamentals relentlessly. Flow requires technical mastery as a foundation. Develop specialized knowledge in your field. Deep expertise makes flow more accessible. Create checklists for repetitive processes. Reduce cognitive load from routine decisions. Break complex skills into drillable components. Master each piece separately before integration. Embrace deliberate practice. Quality of practice matters more than quantity. When fundamental skills become second nature, your conscious mind is freed to enter flow. This is why musicians practice scales for years and athletes drill basic movements thousands of times. Now let's talk about sustaining flow in daily life. Create a flow-friendly lifestyle. Your overall life structure either supports or undermines your capacity for flow. Prioritize sleep quality. Flow requires robust cognitive resources. Manage stress levels. Chronic stress depletes the neurochemicals needed for flow. Exercise regularly. Physical activity increases BDNF, a protein that supports neural plasticity. Limit decision fatigue. Automate or batch routine decisions to preserve mental energy. Find meaning in your activities. Flow comes more easily to tasks aligned with your values. Flow isn't just a state. It's the result of a well-designed life that supports peak experiences. Develop flow triggers that work for you. Everyone has unique flow triggers. Discover and leverage yours. Complete silence or background noise. Test different sound environments. Social or solitary flow. Some people flow better in groups, others alone. Movement or stillness. Some need physical activity to trigger flow, others need calm. Morning or evening. Honor your chronobiological patterns. Comfort or slight discomfort. Some flow better when slightly challenged by environment. Your personal flow triggers are as unique as your fingerprint. Experiment to discover what works best for you. Create a flow journal. Tracking your flow experiences accelerates your ability to access the state. Record when and where you experienced flow. Look for patterns over time. Note the conditions that preceded the state. What set you up for success? Track duration and depth of flow. How long did it last? How complete was the immersion? Document performance outcomes. What did you accomplish in flow? Review your journal monthly to optimize your approach. This meta-learning accelerates improvement. The path to mastering flow is iterative, continuous experimentation and refinement based on your unique experiences. Flow isn't just about productivity, it's about experiencing life at its richest. Research shows that people who experience flow regularly report higher life satisfaction, greater creativity, and more meaning in their activities. The beautiful thing about flow is that it's available to everyone. Whether you're a student, professional, artist, athlete, or simply someone seeking deeper engagement with life, these techniques can open the door to your peak performance zone. Start small. Choose one technique from this video and implement it today. Notice what happens. Then gradually build your personal flow practice over time. If you enjoyed this exploration of flow, please like this video and subscribe to The Contemplative Path for more content on optimal performance, practical psychology, and techniques for living a more engaged life. What activity puts you in flow? Share in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your experiences. Thank you for watching, and here's to more flow in your life.